Hi, and welcome to another episode of Frozen Oil Hockey. I'm your host, Rich. And I thought I was going to take the night off from doing this today, but, the Oilers, it's the eve of the Oilers Game 5 against the Los Angeles Kings. The Oilers lead the series 3-1, and we had an extra day off in between. But unfortunately, I came across an interview today on the Kipper and Bourne show on Sportsnet. So I'm watching this thing and it mentioned Jay Woodcroft's name. So I'm like, you know what? I want to know what's going on. I want to watch this interview. I'm interested. Once an Oiler, always an Oiler. So I thought. But I'm just going to get right into this. And I'm just going to start playing the interview here. I forwarded to the part that I wanted to start it at. There's a little bit of stuff before that, but let's just cut right to the chase here.
Good example, 1-0, your former team, the Edmonton Oilers. What have you seen out of them down the stretch and early in these playoffs?
Well, I haven't watched much of the Edmonton Oilers.
Pardon me? You haven't watched much of the Edmonton Oilers? What are you talking about? The Edmonton Oilers, currently, right now, we are favored to win the Stanley Cup. The odds are 4-1. We're number one. Okay? So you're going on national TV and you're trying to tell me that you're not watching the Edmonton Oilers? And more importantly, you're not watching Connor McDavid? You're not watching the demigod, son of Zeus, Hercules, hockey player. How is that possible? How is that possible that you're not watching the Edmonton Oilers and you're not watching Connor McDavid? Okay? To me, right away when I saw that, like the hair on the back of my neck just stood up, and I sensed something fishy's going on here. And let's just continue this.
I was let go there in November. It was a choice I made that I spent more time studying the league and studying trends that are occurring during the league.
So you spent more time studying the league and trends that are occurring in the league. Okay, first of all, there's 16 teams are gone, and if you're trying to go on national TV and put yourself out there to get a coaching job somewhere else, you should be studying every single team, including your former team, which is the number one ranked team. And you're right now trying to pretend that you're not trying to slide one under there on the Edmonton Oilers and us hardcore Oiler fans. Like, I'm noticing.
For me, I've spent a lot of time during this playoffs watching the Eastern Conference, and like I said, I've been very impressed, specifically with the competition level in some of these series, how hard these teams are playing, the physicality, and not just the fisticuff physicality, but the willingness to take a hit to make a play, the willingness to get to hard areas on the ice, the willingness of certain teams to play on the inside. It's quite evident to me to see how the teams that are going to move on, the reason why they're moving on.
Okay, so it's quite evident to me that he's obviously still upset with his exit from the Edmonton Oilers. I always wondered, what really happened there, why he was fired. He did win the game after he lost to the worst team in the NHL. His record at the time was 2-9-1. So I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. You could be Scotty Bowman. If you have Connor McDavid and Draisaitl on your team, and you start the season off 2-9-1, you're going to be on the hot seat. So I mean, for you to try to slide in these comments as if you're talking about the Eastern Conference and watching the Eastern Conference and you're saying all this stuff, to me, what this guy's doing right now is he's trying to complain and all these comments about going to the hard areas and all that stuff. He's talking about what he believes is the reason he got fired and what he believes the players weren't doing under him as the head coach. So, I mean, first of all, you inherited a team with McDavid and Draisaitl. Draisaitl played in the first playoff series with a high ankle sprain, which is very difficult to do. If you haven't had an injury like that, it's extremely difficult to play hockey. And he was a stud and a warrior. And, you're complaining about, basically not doing enough. But you know what? At the end of the day, I mean, you can continue to watch this interview. That's the juicy part there. I watched the rest of it. He goes on rambling, using these, he walks around with a thesaurus. He's always the smartest man in the room, so he thinks. And he thinks right now that he's going to slide this one by us. But you know what? You're not going to slide it by us. I can't believe you're doing this. And you know what? Jay Woodcroft, it's on. Edmonton Oilers inheriting McDavid and Draisaitl, the two best players at the time in the league. They were 1 and 2, I believe. And you're mad. You also sign and get paid a $6 million 3-year contract. You worked a year and a half through it. I believe you get paid the entire amount of the money as a head coach. There's even if you're fired. So I mean, what are you so mad at? You were given the opportunity. You failed to start the season off at the correct pace. Again, you lost to the San Jose Sharks with a 2-9-1 record. And the reason now I believe you were let go is because you had this new defensive structure that you were, telling everyone at some point it's going to work. It's going to work. Like, we can't waste another year with McDavid and Draisaitl. And basically, the Edmonton Oilers fired you for that reason, in my opinion, because you just don't want to listen. At the end of the day, they paid you. They paid you $6 million. I'm driving an extra 5 minutes to save 5 cents a liter on gas. What are you so mad about? You're trying to slide one under us? It's not going to slide under us. We totally noticed it. I totally noticed it. I immediately sent the link to my cousin, who can spot a fake in a crowd of a million people in an instant. Shout out to cousin Gus. And right away he messaged me back. Wow, does he hate the Oilers? So it wasn't just me. It was very noticeable. I highly recommend, if you're a hardcore Oiler fan, to watch that interview and see kind of those comments he was trying to slide in. He was totally referring to Edmonton Oilers when he was asked the question about the Oilers, and he said he's not watching them. And also when he was talking about the Eastern Conference teams that he is watching. I mean, if you're a head coach or you're trying to get another head coaching position in the NHL, shouldn't you be watching the entire NHL? What if the Edmonton Oilers are your opponent? Shouldn't you be studying them too? I mean, so I don't know. I found that very weak, and us Oiler fans, we're a classy bunch, but like, we're not gonna stand for that. So sorry, Jay, but it's on you. So anyways, that's all I have for now. That's all I had to get this off my chest. I'm not gonna have time in my next video after Game 5 tomorrow. So anyways, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for considering to subscribe, and most importantly, go Oilers, go.